People do ask about a lot about how I keep motivated. I have been on my weight loss journey now for nearly 5 years. I've lost over £250. That's been with a combination of Slimming World to start off with. I did that for 8 months, and then the rest has all been with WW. I've done various plans with WW, and I finally got to goal nearly 2 years ago. So I've been maintaining ish for 2 years. Motivation gets you started, definitely. When you first start any plan, you're highly motivated, you stick to it, and I think that's where I've always come a cropper before. When I've started any plan, I've cut right back, cut everything right back. Don't use my sins, don't use my weeklies if I'm doing WW, and I've come a cropper. After a couple of weeks, when your motivation starts to wane, and it does start to wane, it starts to feel like a diet then. I've seen a load of posts recently across all social media going, how do people eat? I mean, I'm on the green plan. How do people eat 30 points a day? Seriously, I have no idea how you can't eat 30 points a day. To me, I just can't get my head around that without it feeling like a diet. I know it must be a lot of protein in there, must be a lot of fruit and vegetables, and that's brilliant. I eat an awful lot. If you look at what I eat in a day, I do get messages saying, how can you eat so much food? And I do eat a lot, but I make sure I use all my points. Motivation, like I said, definitely gets you started, and when that starts to wane, that's when obviously the inevitable happens and you come off plan, and then you try to get back on it. That's why I've always used my weeklies. I'm a massive advocate of using those weeklies. Utilise them, they're there to be used, and seriously, I wouldn't have got as far as I have without them. Also, people ask a lot about if I have a day off every week when I get weighed. No, that's always been my downfall before as well. I've started a weight loss plan, and then I get weighed and I have the day off, and then it all starts again. It's taken me years to get into good routines and habits. This is my last sort of 3 months on plan. This is December, so from the 26th of December I stuck to plan for the whole of the rest of December. January, again, I stuck to it. I had one day off, and that was purely because I was absolutely starving. I was so hungry, nothing would fill me up, so I just had the day off, got back on it the next day. It's all about consistency. This is February. I had one planned day off. Again, it's all about consistency. It's about continuing and just getting your head down and doing it. And it's not easy, but it is doable. And if you have a look at my food, my daily food, you'll see that I do utilise my points, and I'll make the most out of them. This is March so far. I've been on plan for most of the time. There are times where I do come a cropper and I do have to have a day off, and well, I don't have to, I'm making an excuse there. I will have a day off. It will just, I'll have a culmination of a few weeks where I'll be really good, and then I'll just start to think that I deserve a day off. Don't, but I start to think that. Then certain foods start creeping into my head, and in the back of my head I'm thinking, well, I've been really good for the past 4 weeks. Maybe I do deserve a day off. I don't deserve a day off. I really don't. It doesn't make any difference. But it happens, and I'll do it, and I'll acknowledge it, and I'll say that I've done it, and then I'll move on, because in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. But to me, it's about consistency, and that's what it's about. Motivation will get you started, but it's determination, consistency, habits and routines that will keep you going. So I don't have a day off on weighing day. I will have planned days off like I did in February, but they are few and far between. It's when I know that I'm just not going to be able to stick to it. And there are obviously unplanned days off. I have quite strange mantras and things that go through my head when I'm thinking about food and thinking about eating. Yesterday I went to Wetherspoons for breakfast. Now I've got all my weeklies left this week from yesterday, so I've had 42 weeklies, plus I had 3 rollovers from the day before, so I had 45 points and 30 dailies. So I literally could have had anything at Wetherspoons for breakfast yesterday, and I was thinking about having anything for breakfast, but sitting there thinking about it, my partner decided what he wanted straight away. He always has the same thing, and I was sitting there going, right, what shall I have? How shall I have this? I was thinking, shall I have the American pancakes? I really like them. I had the points for them, could have had them. I was then thinking, oh, shall I have the breakfast wrap? Again, had the points for it. But when I sat there, I thought, actually, how hungry am I is a main thing, because sometimes I'm just sitting there thinking I'll have that because I'm there and I'm in that situation. It's the same when I'm driving past a McDonald's. I'll go, oh, McDonald's. Then I'll just sit there and go, well, hang on a minute, are you actually hungry? Because most of the time I'm not. It's just the association with I'm driving past a McDonald's or I'm sat in a restaurant, I've got to have something to eat, and half the time I'm not even that hungry. I don't fancy what I'm ordering. So I actually sat there and thought, well, I'm not all that hungry, I'll have a bacon sandwich. And then I was thinking, well, shall I have porridge? I thought, no, I'll have a bacon sandwich. I've had porridge a couple of times this week. I've had overnight oats, so I'll have porridge. I'll have bacon sandwich. It's not in the app. A bacon roll is, but a bacon butty isn't. So I've just pointed it. It's 8 for the bread. I've asked for no butter on it, and I've taken the fat off the bacon. So I counted the bacon as 4. That was my thinking when I was in Wetherspoons. I always have a black coffee refill because I just do, and it's 0 pointed, and I had a Pepsi Max. So that was my morning. I then went on, did a bit of shopping, went to Costa. My go-to at Costa, and I really do like it, is an almond milk latte. You'll know that if you look at my videos. So I had an almond milk latte. It was really nice. Then my partner said, oh, should we have another one? We were waiting for something. So I thought, what shall I have? Shall I have a mint tea, which is 0 pointed? And then I thought, no, I will have a coconut hot chocolate. I really want one. It's a bit nippy. I don't really fancy anything for lunch. I'll have a coconut hot chocolate instead for 11 smart points. So when I went to the counter, there was a queue of about 3 people in front of me. And I was looking at the snacks, which is terrible, and we all do it. And I was just looking at the snacks, and they had the marshmallow bites. And I thought, oh, they look really nice. Let me see how many points they are. So I've got my phone out. 4 points a portion. Picked them straight up and put them on the counter. Now, the girl came to me, and in my head I'm thinking, I asked for my partner's drink, then I went to ask for mine, and I thought, hang on a minute, why have I put them on the counter? I don't actually want them that much. In my head at that point I really, really wanted them. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute, why have I got them? I don't really need them, I don't really want them, I'm not even hungry. And I've got loads of stuff back at home. I'd got Skinny Whips in my bag, and I just had one. So it wasn't like I needed anything. I just had one of the new mint Skinny Whips with my almond milk latte. So it was like, well, why am I even buying them? So I just put them back. That's my thinking, and that's the things. That's what I think of all the time. And it's not even. It's just a realisation. I just stand there and go, why am I doing this? Why do I feel the need to buy these? Because I'm just going to eat them, and I don't even really want them. I hope it makes some kind of sense, but it is literally determination and routine and habits. It's about not buying those impulse buys, and it does happen, and I do it. I've just been for a walk this morning and just bought 4 eggs, 4 Easter eggs, because they're 75p. 2 are for my partner and 2 are for me. So I do impulse buy. I have no intention of eating them today. I just thought, well, they're cheap and I'll grab them. So I do impulse buy, but I tend to think ahead at times like that, and then when I get home I'll just think, I won't have them now, I'll have them later. But those impulse buys are terrible, and it's just about getting into your head that, do I need it? Do I want it? Am I hungry? Because most of the time I ain't even hungry when it comes to stuff like that. I've already had something to eat at home, and it's just purely those old habits and those old routines that I used to have try to creep back in again, and it's just about knocking them off. So literally, it's after a certain point, it's not about motivation anymore. It's about those routine habits, and it's just being determined. A lot of the time I will stand there and go, I mean, at that counter yesterday at Costa, I was thinking, well, I could get them and I could eat them. Then I could go home and I can eat that chocolate that I got from Aldi the other day, and I could just have the day off. And then I was thinking, well, no, because I want a loss next week. I'm still trying to get rid of my Christmas gain, and I really want a loss next week. I want a loss more than I want to eat them. I really do. In my head, they are going to taste better than when I actually eat them, because I know they are. There are certain things that I really like and I really enjoy, but half the time the stuff just doesn't live up to my expectations. I have a huge expectation of something, what something's going to taste like, and it really doesn't. And that's what I try to keep at the front of my head, and it's difficult and it's not always easy, and there are times when we are going to go off and we are going to fall off the wagon, and it's going to happen. And I've got videos, previous ones, just saying how I deal with that and what I do at those times. But it's about, like I said, it's about consistency, routine and habit. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.